Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. My name is Tom Novak. Today is June 14th of 2022. It's a Tuesday. Right now it's 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. Supposed to reach a high of 91 degrees Fahrenheit or 33 degrees Celsius plus. We'll hope, because yesterday we had a storm and a half. I mean, it came down in buckets. And today it's hot and steamy. And I got my long sleeve shirts on, so what are you gonna do? But today I'm going to show you the arrival, the Baobab update, potting of my mangrove. But I wanted to show you first the Sarracenia purpurae or something like that. These came in the mail yesterday, and Sherry, if you're looking, live sphagnum moss. That's to use the covering there. So this is the large that came in the mail, and this is the small. So I think better to buy the small unless you want fast growth. But let me take this out. This is from Carnivorous Plants, and they're the only ones that have it. Here's the label, and this one I can overwinter outside because it's good for zones 2 to 7. So that's perfect. And it's hard to get this one because nobody carries them. So let's get this on the floor. Here's my baobabs waking up. I got 3 outside that are a little less good looking than these. So hopefully with the hot weather they'll start to awaken. But here's the other one starting to come up. So what I'm going to do is just cut off these dead leaves with my ironwood tools. Remember, you got tough woods, go with ironwood. So this has been a little bit on the cheesy side, so I'm going to get this out over here, because I don't know if you can see it, but this little part here is still dead. And I'm not going to water these till I get them outside, and I'm not going to put them in the direct sun because they're not used to that right now. And then I'm going to take this big branch off right here because there's nothing growing there, and there's nothing on it. It's dead. And then, so nothing happens, I'm going to take my top lipstick, and I'm just going to seal the wound a little bit just for now. And I'll put these outside. The other baobabs are skinnier than this. One has a fat bottom and it looks green, so hopefully that'll grow, but I don't know about the other ones. But we shall see what we shall see. And then I'll take these out. I got my spray bottle, and I'll just wet them down, give them a good soaking. I've been watering them sparsely down in the basement, but you can see they're starting to grow. So now, mangrove, I got the cheap bag of sand, the 40-pound bags of sand that says peat moss on it, but really it's peat mixed with topsoil. So what I'm going to do, which will make a good anaerobic system, because mangroves grow in waterlogged soils where there's no oxygen in the soil, so to say. So here's, it's heavier than you wouldn't believe, but there's the soil mix. And I'm not going to, I got Pinkie Pie over here, but I'm going to use this to water it in. And there's no drainage holes on this because this has to sit in water, because that's what they grow in. So Tom, here's your spoon. Let's get cutting. Let's get some of this into the bottom. There we go. And don't forget, if you want an ironwood tool for your dad or your husband, just type in Novak, N-O-W-A-K, and you'll get a nice little small discount for a good tool that'll last them the rest of his life, because they're guaranteed for life. So this is a real heavy mix. It's sort of like a clayish mix, so let me add some water into it. And we'll see how these roots really take off on here. Let me get my spoon. Mix this up a little more, because this, when you get these soils that sit outside that says peat moss, it's really not peat moss. It's really like a mix. But that's alright, because this is what we need for here. Now my Sarracenias, I'm supposed to use a 50-50 peat moss and 50-50 perlite mix. But on them I didn't have the pure peat moss, because the bags they were selling were super big. I didn't need something that big. So I'll look later on, because I know Vigoro has pure peat moss. There we go. And I'll get that later. But what I did plant them in, I put them in a 50. I got the pine bark, the real. Let's see, there it is. I just used this with the perlite, and let's see how they do, because pine is an acid-based soil. So here's my little bubblers, so to say. So let's take this guy out. He's got a nice, strong, healthy root system. And what's all that green stuff? That is, what do you call it? Slipped my mind. It's this, oh, duckweed, that's what it is. Okay, Tom, you're getting there. So let's get this in. The roots we can probably move out a little bit, because they're a real stiff root. So we can get it to fan out a little bit. And if you got a black thumb, get yourself a mangrove, because you can't overwater them. You cannot overwater these, because they sit in water. So this is a good tree for you to start and to develop a root system. And we'll see how the roots develop on this mangrove. There we go. Put the soil in real good. And as per Pat, I heard you in the comment. So Pat suggested Tuesday night as Jack Benny night. And that's a good idea, Pat, because Jack Benny is a good comedian, very well known. And I watch him on Old Time Radio, or you can watch him on YouTube for his old TV shows, which are perfect too, with Rochester and his wife. I forgot her name now. Dennis Day. So there we go. Look at that. And we'll take, this is pure fish water. You can see how dirty it is, because I just changed the tanks. I did 3 tanks this morning already, and gave with this good perfect rain, I gave the plants a nice little bit of water. I mean fertilizer, real light. So here's a nice little piece of, I don't know what, but it looks like a stone, and we can stick it in here just to hold it down. And I do have some sand. You can see all the water in there. Just like that. Now if I can find some a pumice stone or a big piece of lava rock, I'll show you how to put the carnivorous plants into that, because then you can grow the living sphagnum moss. And yes, there's only certain places that sell living sphagnum moss. I'll have, if you're interested, I'll look it up for you. Now I don't know if I can have enough soil left in here for that real small one, so we can try that. And don't forget, put on Jack Benny and a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and laugh. What are you going to do? Good old Jack Benny. Now what else do we got here? I don't know if we can fill this up, but we'll try. And you can see this thing is loaded with water. So I'm going to have to dump some of that so I can carry it outside. But I'm going to have to put it in a microclimate. And then, yes, I'll explain a microclimate, what I do with that. There. So we don't have enough of that, but we'll see what we got. We got some vermiculite, and I can finish it up. And I'm going to take this real small... Okay, Tom, what'd you do with them? Tom, you are losing it. Here they are. I'm going to take this real small guy and put him in the little pot for now. Because you can see the nice fine little roots that are starting to form. And I'll just put that on top of there. And I can either put in perlite or I can put in, this will be good because it'll hold it down. This is that floor swept bonsai soil. And that should hold it down pretty good. There we go. Just like that. And see if you get you can just buy one. These are, I believe, red mangrove. I should have wrote down the name for you. And these don't need, the other mangroves grow in salt water, but this will grow in fresh or salt water. And the ones that are growing in my fish tank are growing pretty good. There we go. And why not? Let's add a little bit of, it's in water. There we go. There's our water effect. And that'll hold in the moisture. Just push it down real nice. Now you know you're not going to see it good, but I have to dump some of this water out so I can carry it up and don't spill it all over me like I did with the fish this morning. There we go. So, how will it grow? I'll let you know. And as Pat would say, I did an info commercial with the ironwood because I know they're good tools. And that's how Gracie used to sneak it in with Harry Von Zell. They were cards. It was a good show. So Jack Benny, did you know that Jack Benny and Burns and Ellen were the best of friends? Best of friends. So, let's put a little more of this on there. Get it in. Yes, Sin, I have to clean this place up. There, throw that, cover that up. We didn't have to use the vermiculite after all. And there you go. So, you got a black thumb? Get a mangrove. You ain't gonna kill that unless you leave it out in the wintertime. So the minute it starts getting, I think, 60 degrees, you got to bring them in. So, wish me luck on getting this in from into the outside and into my little microclimate area so I can keep them to get used to the sun. Then I'll put them in full sun. And the same thing with the Baobabs. And I think we covered everything. In my Sarracenias, I got them in the little, I'll have to show you all that stuff outside later. So, I got a lot more to do. Sorry for babbling. Cup of tea. Jack Benny night as per Pat. Comedy night. enjoy a good comedian. You take care, everybody, and remember, you got a black thumb, turn it green with a mangrove. Take care.